Hey, YouTube community, it's your favorite apostate, AnonDude2 here, returning with his very best friend, the other apostate, named Dustin.
I smoke too, so...
No, not Lucius V, you morons, the other apostate. Anyway.
I smoke the cheap shit, though, so...
No, I have to break him of this, I swear, because this is supposed to be informative, and they're not supposed to be focusing on the language.
Well, fuck, Lucius does.
Oh my God.
Lucius
it doesn't matter if Lucius does or not.
Look,
I'm trying to see.
I'm the fat person inside of him, man. That's it.
Every skinny person has a fat person waiting to be fed. Is that like every bald person has a hairy person waiting to grow?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, what we thought we would put together today, and this is, very informal, obviously, is what it was like growing up in our congregation. Now, for those of you who don't already know, my friend Dustin and I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. Well, not technically Indianapolis, but around there, since most of you don't even know where Indiana is on a map. That's right. I don't have very much confidence in any of you. Crap out of your mouth. But so just thought.
Wish it was like that, dude.
You wish it was. See, I won't allow him. I don't smoke, so I don't allow him to smoke in my house. The only thing I burn is incense.
That's so much better.
It is so much better.
I burn candles to Buddha, but you can't.
You gotta worship the fat man.
You gotta worship
you
a fat
got
ass.
to worship. No, fat man.
Fat man.
Okay, here we go. But let's try and put a cap on this so that way we don't go over time, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
obviously. Okay. So, what was it like, what are some of the memories that you can recall growing up in Raymond Park? Oh, that's our congregation name, by the way, Raymond Park Congregation.
Well, all the elders were douchebags.
No, Brother Love wasn't. Brother Love was pretty good.
Okay, Brother Love was cool. He was a black guy.
Who was the other guy that you liked? You used to like Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt was alright, man. He wasn't a total jerk, but he kind of got...
See,
he got into the regional building program, and then he got a little bit of authority and power, and then it's like he decided to sit down on a middle finger. You know what I mean? He was sitting on something bad, shoved up his ass.
Right. Well, to me, growing up, Kurt, he was always a hard, he had a hard on for me. He would always like jump down my throat. That's an inappropriate pun. Well, hey, growing up in a molestation cult. But no, he always jumped on me about things like, oh, stop running in the Kingdom Hall, Ethan. Don't wear sunglasses to the Kingdom Hall, Ethan. Ethan, you need to be more serious, and just crap like that. For whatever reason, he was nicer to him.
Yeah, for some reason, but a lot of people are nicer to me than they are him for some, I don't know. It's maybe because he's...
I'm more likable, though.
I'll let you decide.
You will decide, and you will decide correctly. This is going nowhere fast.
Yes.
Okay. So, what other elders stick out to you that you can remember?
Brother Petty.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you don't know Brother Petty, obviously, unless you grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. But this man, okay, he had a Napoleon complex. I mean, he was just short, and then he had this little Hitler mustache. It was like this wide. Okay, I kid you not. He's this tiny. Stop it with the. We already had the hard on in your throat. We're not doing anymore. Okay, stop it. Okay, so and he was wicked.
Oh,
what
dude,
are some of the things that he would do to you?
Okay, like my brother, he had a lot of issues or whatever.
Right.
And issues that he couldn't control, but somehow it would get back to where you're not showing enough love, Dustin. You're not being enough caring. It's like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I poop bigger than what you are. You know? I mean, I'm just saying, he had a little man complex, man.
Napoleon complex is the term.
Okay, he wasn't like that, but
he was a dictator. What do you? He was a tyrant. Okay, that's not a Napoleon complex.
Oh, he was okay. Well, anyways, he for the longest time he was the
presiding
overseer. Yeah. And oh my God, you think Jesus came down and kissed him on both fucking cheeks? I mean, he was just so like out there as far as I am so spiritual. I am glowing.
And more valuable than you
I'm
are
more
at
valuable
the same
than
time.
You will take a bullet for me.
Right, he gets an extra day of everlasting life.
Yeah, an extra day.
Extra day.
No, he gets to go in an hour early, dude.
Jesus loves him. He did all the works. One of the things that he did to me, and, you know, of course, at the time I was a regular, or I was making pretty much auxiliary hours every month since I was homeschooled. But I got baptized, and me and him, we got baptized on the same day. Like brothers. Okay, so we got baptized the same day, and I went out in service, and all the sisters were there, and I'm like, this is my chance. I am now endowed with scriptural authority. I can conduct the meeting for field service. And those of you who have done such a thing, you know that as a young brother, that is something to be coveted. That is something to be prized. And so I get up there, and, you know, I breathe in deeply, and I start reading the daily text. And about halfway through the daily text, in comes this asshole, Brother Petty, just strolls in. He was late. I started on time, and he just starts talking over me. No, he literally comes in, and I know I've told you about this, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. He comes in, he just starts talking over me. He totally took over the thing. It's like, why? There was just no point to it other than, you know, trying to have a pissing contest. It was, you know, just another example.
It's hard to have a pissing contest when you're like 4 or 5. And you're like 6'2". I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, kinda.
Well.
Oh, Brother Blano.
Oh,
okay.
Tom
Blano. We call him Blue Nose. The reason being...
Red Nose Jew.
No, not Red Nose, Blue Nose.
Oh,
okay. And the reason being is because when he and I were growing up in the congregation, their name, it's a French name, was Belignot. And so it was brother and sister Belignot. And then, like, what was it, 5 years ago? Maybe even a little bit longer.
Yeah, about 6 years ago.
Maybe about 6 years ago.
He just
out of the
pulled a
blue,
name out of his butt.
Okay, he decided to do the French pronunciation of Blano. And my deal is, if he's gonna want to do the French pronunciation, then let's just go ahead and go all the way. It's not Bluno, it's Blignon. There's a difference.
Obviously, you know.
And so Tom has one of the most. How would you describe his sense of humor?
Dry and idiotic.
Not dry. Dry humor is pretty witty, but like
no
unfunny. You mean?
No, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
like,
okay, he was trying to attempt to do slapstick comedy. It just wasn't working out. He had what are some of the jokes they used to tell or try and tell?
I don't know. All I remember is every time he told a joke.
He thought he was hilarious.
Well, how many wheels does a car have? 5, the steering wheel. I mean, you know.
It got old after a while, is what you're saying.
It was just stupid. He was trying to be humorous.
He was trying too hard.
Way too hard.
Well, you know. So Tom was obviously an interesting character, but his wife was almost worse in a way. And she wasn't one of those, like, elders' wives that gets all pretentious. She was loving, giggly. She was like loving kindness in a person. Like, no, she was. You liked her? No, I didn't like her. It's like she's not real. Because, she's right. Like, okay, that's what I was about to say. Is disingenuous, and she's extremely giggly. Oh like, my God, yes. Do you think she's better or worse than Jan? Actually,
she's better than Jan. Her laugh.
Well, Jan hits her laugh, but
her.
I'm talking about overall giggly factor.
Oh,
Jan has an obnoxious laugh, but I think Diana's actually a little bit more giggly.
Yeah, that's just because she's like an awkward person to be around.
What, Diana?
Yeah, Diana.
Okay, yeah, she's skinny too. She's a little twig.
Yeah.
But, well, what else? Was there anything else we can even say?
Nothing that's worth any time.
Mark, come on.
Okay.
We gotta talk about Mark. No, or Steve. Mark or Steve? Choose.
Steve.
Oh, okay, let us talk about Steve. Now, Steve is this old crotchety guy. Okay, his wife is like crotchety.
She's like a hippo.
She's bigger than a hippo. Actually, she's like a 400-pounder.
She's like a whale.
She's like a whaleopotamus.
Yes. Only on YouTube.
Only on YouTube.
Exactly.
On AnonDude2's channel. So be sure to spread that name around and get lots of subscriptions.
Yes. Yes. Shameless endorsing.
Shameless marketing. Oh my, scandalous. Drink Coca-Cola.
We're not getting paid for this.
Okay. Well, we got about like what, a minute and a half. So let's wrap up. Steve, what's some interesting remarks?
Okay. Steve was
got his wife pregnant.
Eyes commercial guy. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
If that would give you a glimpse onto how he acted, he was not only like that.
What do you mean by dry eyes? I'm not
the dry eye commercial.
I've never seen it.
Dry eye for clear eyes.
You're saying he's boring.
Yeah.
Here's a good way to describe Steve. He's extraordinarily ordinary. There is nothing remarkable about him in any way. And
except for the fact that he got a 400-pound woman pregnant and the kid still lived.
Yeah, when she was like, what, 45? It was late. He's like 65 or something.
It's like doing it to a swamp rat or something. I mean, how?
Why is a better question, not how. I know
how. He's desperate.
Yeah, desperate. I would be desperate for something better.
Last resort. There we go.
Okay, yeah, he's desperation level. Okay, I think we can agree there. But that's just a pretty idiotic rambling. There was nothing intellectual or informative here whatsoever. Mostly, it was his fault. Yeah, it was his. He came over and we were gonna go see a movie, but the movies aren't for like a couple more hours, so this seemed more enjoyable. So
yeah.
Until next time, YouTube, remember, life
is a state of mind.